fight come February
Guys,
12th.
tomorrow is going to
How
be
have you
an
been and
amazing
what
day.
have you been doing
Tomorrow
throughout
is on the
this long off season?
12th
I've
of
been good,
February
but I've been bored at some points. I think
2022.
for me, when I started to get into
I
the,
can't wait
the
to
flow
watch
of things again at
Adesanya
the
fight
gym,
White Taker.
and I was learning, I
That
was
fight is
soaking
going to be
things
an
up.
amazing fight.
Then the
Trust
lockdown
me.
happened, I think
Don't
late
miss
July,
the
early
fight.
August, and then that
If
was
you
for
miss
3
the
months.
fight,
That kind of like
try
slowed
catch up
down
the
our learning.
highlights
Didn't
online
stop
and
us from
TV.
learning
Subscribe
because
to
we
our
do what we have to do,
channel,
but it
to our
slowed down our
YouTube.
learning, our training. Shout out to my boy Chance, my flatmate, one of my BFFs, and he kept me jacked during lockdown because he's athletic, he's driven, and yeah, we just know each other, we get each other. So he was able to push me, and he got me really strong with home workouts.
Is there like an adrenaline or thrill-seeking gap you have to fill in your mind when you have long off seasons from someone that always has an opponent to think about, always in camp, or like just having those high numbers of
Yes.
fights?
Yes. That's why I like static. That's why I like static. I like a little bit of beef. For someone like myself, I've even said after fighting, I'm gonna need something to do that's gonna endanger my life every 4 months, I feel. I don't, not maybe endanger my life, but something that's gonna like just make me feel like I'm about to die. Yeah, this was a long layoff, and yeah, I like the way I live. I find ways to release that pressure. Like my guy right here, I take vacations. Find ways to relieve that pressure during those long layovers or whatever, but I don't like them too long because eventually there's only so much you can do. Then I have to find something else. Then, I up the ante a little bit sometimes, and it's not always the best thing, but I'm smart with the way I vacay.
It took you 7 fights in 18 months to become the undisputed UFC champion, which is one of the most impressive roads to the title in modern UFC history, if you take into the account the number of fights and the time frame. Is this how you envisioned the start of your UFC career to play out?
Yeah, pretty much. I came into the UFC with experience, and I'm glad I got that experience outside the UFC. But I came into this game knowing that I would have to face the sharks in the deep water straight away. So I earned my keep. I just did it fast because I'm active and I'm clean like that.
You like to grade your performances, but how would you grade your title run?
Ooh, my title run?
Yeah, from debut to...
Oh, it's title, oh, that was nice. That was, I'd say it was an A.
A?
Yeah, A. A minus maybe, but A, I'll give it an A, because I just feel like I fought the right fights. I fought different styles. I fought the styles people think. Every fight there was always a narrative of this is the guy. Next fight, this is the guy. Oh, this is the guy that's gonna take him out. Next fight, oh, this is the guy that's gonna take him out for real this time. No, last time was a joke. This guy for real this time is gonna take him out. And it's just like, shot at place. Yeah, so, yeah, A minus or A.
How would you describe this part of your career going into the Whittaker rematch? If it was an anime arc or like a movie, a part of a movie or so on?
That's a good question. I like that question. Feels deja vu. Feels like I've been here before. Feels like some kind of, I wanna say, not inception, but like, yeah, I've been here before and I'm about to do it again, yeah. But I'm about to do it in a different way, in a different timeline. Something along that line. That's how I feel about this fight.
You made a grand entrance into Marvel Stadium at UFC 243. What effect did your walkout have on you and your performance that night?
Okay, that's okay. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that question. All right, good.
No, man.
Hey,
This is the
freestyle
big leagues, hey!
Okay, that was a good question. What effect did that have? For me, it freed me. It freed my mind because I wasn't overthinking the fight at all. I wasn't even thinking about the fight. The night before the fight, I fell asleep watching the rehearsals on repeat, and I fell asleep with my phone in my hand or like on the bed. I was kind of like, man, it's gonna look sick. It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's gonna be tight. I'm gonna fucking kill this shit. It's gonna be viral. And the fight was like the secondary thing on my mind. So I had no paralysis over analysis. I was just able to just free my mind of the fight because I knew what I could do. So yeah, this week I also have ways of freeing my mind off the fight because I know what I'm gonna do. So I'm just like, I focus on other things. Not that I'm taking the fight lightly, no. But Robert, I bet you before the first fight was in bed that night thinking about the fight and overthinking the fight. He'll probably do it again, to be honest. And he'll probably just like, I think he'll just accept it, which is good for him. It makes him dangerous. The fact that he just accepts, not defeat, but accepts his fate. Yeah, still makes him really dangerous. So I have to take him seriously.
Was there anything that surprised you during your first fight? Oh my God.
That was hard.
Wow.
I had to gauge that when I was like, am I gonna shot on this one?
You just did that 15 minutes ago.
I know. I was like, let me grade this one, but I didn't have to earthbend. I just airbended, so we're safe.
Were you surprised by anything that happened in the first fight? And what was your first thought after he hit the canvas at the end of the first?
Yeah, I was surprised with the way I played the game. I called the audible without realizing it because we had a game plan. But then I matched his energy. I was just like, right, you want to stand 10 toes down? Fuck it. I can stand 10 toes down and I can get buck wild. So I matched his energy and I just called an audible. I fought differently. Yeah, at the end of the first round when I dropped him, if you look at me, I wasn't even phased. I kind of looked at him. I was gonna do something, I think, but then I was just like, calm down, head to the corner because the bell rang. So I was just like, all right, bet, focus, and back to it. I guess I humbled him to the sense that he can't say the shit he was saying the first time around because he was talking all that shit, saying this and that. Oh, I think
that Adesanya isn't as good as he
thinks he is. I remember that. I'm the elephant in the fucking room. You know, I never forget. So I remember that. Oh, Israel's not as good as he thinks he is. So I was just like, I bet I'll show you how great I think I am. Just because you don't think you're that great doesn't mean I have to think less of myself. This is the thing I hate about Kiwi culture sometimes. It's like you have to think less of yourself to be accepted. I'm like, fuck all that. I think I'm the shit. You know, like Twist or my other coaches, some of them will watch the interview and like, or you know, Pops will like, have you seen the interview? I'm like, no. And I saw a little snippet of what he was saying. It's like he finds it hard to kind of swallow. It's a hard pill for him to swallow. He's admitting it. He's saying the right things, but he's not believing it. His ego still won't let him, and that's his downfall. His ego, you know. And people try to say that about me leading up to the first fight. Oh, he's too egotistical. He's not humble like Whitaker. I'm like, bro, stop. I am extraordinarily humble, Drax. But like, I know my limits, and I know my limits as a human being and my capabilities. So I know I'm the shit, but at the same time, I know I ain't shit. He needs to check himself. So he's got this newfound mental clarity. It would help him positively if it was true. I just don't buy into it.
Do you think people are putting too much stock into
Yes.
his last three
Yes.
performances?
Yes. Way too much. Like, to the point where I'm just like, did he like invent like a new move or something? Did he reinvent the jab or I don't know what? But yeah, he improved, yes, but not to the point where people are like blowing it up to be the proportion. Maybe, I think people just have low standards, that's all. I just have high standards, so I just don't, oh my God, nah, it doesn't really faze me that well, so yeah.
Whitaker said that you looked beatable in your last fight, but how beatable did Whitaker look to you in his last fight?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Yeah.
Good question. Hey.
Everyone, round of applause for David. Freestyle Bender, round of applause for David. Wait, did you actually write, was that fan questions or you wrote that?
No, these are all me.
Oh, real?
Frank
Okay,
questions
good.
coming out, yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's
cool.
Dave Blackamoda right here.
Did he look beautiful? Of course, he did. He did, but he played the game very well against all three opponents, I feel. But also at the same time, you put those three guys together, they don't amount to me. The way they play the game, it's not the same. So yeah, like I said, I was not impressed by your performance.
Okay, fan questions. There are a lot of guys in their 20s that aren't where they want to be in life and feel the pressure from family and society as a whole that's making them feel like failures. What advice do you have for any young man that isn't where they thought they would be in life?
Fuck them. Fuck your family, fuck your friends, and fuck their opinions. Fuck them. And I say that with all due respect, because when I was 20, I thought I was going to be married and have kids by 24. I think about it now. Literally, I thought at 24 I'd be married with kids when I was 20, because you have all these ideas of what society or like you said, like your family or whatever want you to aspire to be or fall into, that blueprint. You know, you get a good job and then you marry and you have some kids and you work till you die and blah, blah, blah. Nah, fuck all that. Fuck them. Everyone's time to peak is different. Everyone's time to shine is different. So that pressure, just use it to work, but don't take it to heart. That's all them. Even for me personally, with my family and my loved ones, you know, it's out of love. They want the best for you, but they're not you. You know what's best for you. It's also good to listen to them. Listen to them, take on the advice, but at the end of the day, it's your life. You have to listen to what you want to do and your intuition. So it's all case by case basis. So yeah, listen to them, but at the same time, fuck their opinions. Do you, boo-boo.
Any advice to beginners in combat sports?
Beginners in combat sports. Look, this life isn't for everyone. This game isn't for everyone, especially if you play the game stupid. Because I don't play the game. That's why I still have my wits about me. I'm able to speak to you clearly. I don't slur. You know, have very, very little or no brain damage because I fight intelligent. I say just have fun. Have fun with this. That's the main thing. Have fun. But if this lifestyle from what you've seen, looks like it's something you want to do or it's a calling, then pick the right gym. Because early on, my first coach didn't want me to do MMA. He wanted me to do Muay Thai and be just like him and, you know, have that flow. And he wanted me to be like a copy of him, but better, with better attributes. I listened to my instinct. I listened to my gut. I was just like, I don't think this guy's gonna get me to where I need to get to. So I went to Auckland, looked around, and I saw this gym, City Kickboxing. I was like, I think they will get me to where I need to get to. But it wasn't about the gym, it was like the people at the gym, particularly Eugene. He was the one that I gravitated towards, and then the rest is history. So yeah.
How do you condition your shins, and what's the importance?
Look, there's all that stuff people talk about, you know, you gotta click, 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 or roll bottles or whatever. I don't do that. I did it early on when I was young, but it wasn't for me. Just fucking kick the bag and kick it hard. But be careful as well, because you weaken the bones. So, you know, like take days off where you let it heal, because that's the thing. That's where it gets stronger, from healing, from rest. But yeah, I don't try. It's just over years of kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking and kicking ass. You get tough shins.
All right, official prediction.
Official prediction. I honestly think it'll be if not that, and if not that, I don't mind that. I look forward to that. So that way he knows that he can't fuck with me.
Guys, this fight is really going to be an amazing fight. Subscribe to Lionheart TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. If you missed the fight, try watch the highlights.
We're like step brothers. We don't get along. Just leave it that way, maybe. If we're gonna be best buds one day.
Here with the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Israel Adesanya. Israel, thanks very much for your time today. Firstly, it's a big rematch here. Robert Whittaker, your arch nemesis and friend of the show, he says
one of many.
He says your air of invincibility that you supposedly once had is now gone, and that he spots paths to victory. What have you changed or added to your camp to counteract what you think Rob might bring to this fight?
My air of invincibility. I don't know where you got that from. But what have I changed? I've just kept the same energy, to be honest. I've kept the same people around me. Things are difficult because of the restrictions of travel and whatnot. But yeah, we have a solid team. And I just, like I said, I've kept things fresh as well, just to remind myself who I was. And I know what did he say? He said, the first time before, he was like, well, Kelvin has laid out the blueprint to the path of beating me. And yeah, look how that helped him. So this time, I mean, Jan, he thinks it has the blueprint on beating me. But I just say, like, he should write his own homework. Stop trying to copy everyone else's homework.
In your interview, Israel, with Tony from Combat TV, you said you want to clinch in this fight. You said that you were hoping to dominate in every aspect of this fight. Why do you put that pressure on yourself? Is it to prove to yourself that you are superior in all facets of the game, or is it to prove to the world that you are?
No, to prove to myself. And I even take inspiration from someone like Francis over the weekend, down 2-0. Had to rally up the next 3 rounds to retain his belt, and he did so with wrestling, something that no one's ever seen before. Is because, you know, it's really stupid. I think it's idiotic, because like people think, okay, you're a kickboxer, you're a striker, this and that. If you think that's all it takes to become a UFC world champion, how come all these boxers, how come all these kickboxers aren't, you know, UFC world champions just doing that? No, you have to learn all aspects of the game. That's why I humbled myself to learn jiu-jitsu, wrestling. And it's kind of like to be a good criminal, you should be a good lawyer. So that way you know both sides and how to play both. So yeah, I'm very well versed in this game, and I find it really stupid people think I'm not, and think one thing got me to the dance. But I'm like, all right, keep that same energy. So yeah, I'm still learning. I'm just learning. I'm a white belt on everything.
That's a great mindset to have. Does Israel Adesanya care what people think about him?
Well, I'm an artist, so I care what certain people think about me. I like people around me, people who like my coaches, whatever they say means something to me. But if you're just some dude with a fake account on the internet or some guy on the other side of the screen, like, it doesn't mean anything because you don't have any attachment to those people. But those who I give a fuck about, I give a fuck what they say about me. So that's what's kept me grounded so far.
Speaking of art, it's an interesting portrait you have behind you. Can I ask what that is, just there?
Yeah, that's my cat. Rest in peace in the room.
Oh, right. And that's you doing the Gara stance, rather than the Rock Lee stance.
The Rock Lee stance in Melbourne, yeah. That was a gift from my friends. They gave me, I think for my birthday, probably in 2018, yeah.
Wow, remarkable. That's it's quite creative. I like that.
Yeah.
Israel, in the lead up to the first fight between you and Rob, he brushed off the trash talk like it wasn't affecting him. But he's come on this show and he said that, you know what? He did get to me. He did get in my head, and I went into that fight more emotional than I should have. Are you going to look to stir the pot a little bit this time, maybe get in his head once more?
Oh, no, I don't have to. I don't have to try. It's just, I wasn't really trying to get in his head. I was just saying what was happening. It all started with that stupid meme, and I said he's acting out of character, and, you know, the rest is history. But, yeah, I'm glad it took him 2 years to make that realization. It's better late than never.
Israel, you called him your arch nemesis after defeating Marvin Vettori. And I often say that there is something special about this rivalry. I mean, think about it. Two guys who were such great fighters, who are in the same era, from the same weight class, both from the Australia-New Zealand region. I mean, do you think that there is something special about your rivalry with Rob compared to yours with maybe Marvin or Paulo Costa?
Yeah, 100%. Like, look, we're just two guys who fight or love to fight. You know, what we're doing is because we're in it right now, we have our head down. But then later on in life, I'm sure when we look back on these times, we'll realize, like, even just the last fight, 243, how special that whole event was, how special those moments were, key moments. And unfortunately, he came up short that night. Fortunately for me, you know, it's part of my history too. So yeah, we're living it right now. But then 5, 10 years, and 50 years from now, they'll look back on these times, and yeah, it'll be special to think about it. People will tell their kids. I mean, yeah, it's cool to think about, but I don't really focus on that right now, because right now we're in it, we're working. That's it.
Will you do the Death Note thing this time around?
Why does everyone keep acting these, like, you guys? it's expect the unexpected. You know that whole dad. Maybe you've heard this, but that was during the fight week I came up with that. So I don't really plan these things. I just wait till the moment's near, and then you just figure it out. Same thing with the mask, the the straw hat, all that. It's just, yeah, it's all art in the end of the day, and yeah, staying in the moment, being yourself.
Israel, this might be a bit of a different question, and I know it might be a bit closed-minded to say, well, okay, you like anime, so therefore you guys should be friends. But I mean, it is a lot
of anime questions today.
Well, it is striking to me, I guess, how much you guys do have in common, because obviously we speak with Rob quite a bit. But I mean, you guys are both into your comic books. You guys are avid video gamers, and like I said, you both have that insatiable love for anime. Arch rivals now, but is it completely out of the question that you guys could be mates one day?
I don't know about being friends one day, but I don't think that far ahead. The guy, I don't like the guy. He doesn't like me. It's plain and simple. After the fight, we show respect, and yeah, I wish him well, but unfortunately, he has to fight me. Sorry, I just found it really weird. Like, I literally got asked that 3 times today, so I was like, okay, that's a really odd question, but as you were.
Yeah, right. I guess it might just be like a lot of people are seeing, like, you know, content that he's putting out, and the stuff that you're putting out might be, you know.
What's he putting out? Like, what kind of content is he putting out?
He likes to stream on Twitch and stuff. I don't know if you do the whole Twitch thing, but I saw your interview on Celebrity Gamers and stuff like that. But
we're like stepbrothers who don't get along. Just leave it that way, maybe.
Maybe that's why people are asking that.
Yeah, if we're going to be best brothers one day.
Lastly, Israel, Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker at featherweight in London. I got to ask you, what do you think of your teammate's move? Positive?
Oh, it's a featherweight, yeah. I love the fact that he even did it on holiday. He tried like a trial cut when he was in Vegas, and he was successful with it. He's a lot smarter now. You know, there's better science around weight cutting, and he just did it like that. So yeah, I like that. I like that for Dan.
Well, Israel, I got to thank you so much for your time here today on Fight Week. Always so generous with your time. We wish you all the best. And hey,
I appreciate
go well.
that. Thank you for having me, Nick. Easy.